fight in a boxing ring, but did fight in a bar room. Gastineau even says he's going to take a magazine to court about it all. Jeff Weiser has an exclusive report.
Mark Gastineau was once one of the fastest pass rushers in the NFL, known for terrorizing quarterbacks with his speed. But there was more to his story than just his on-field talent. As his football career reached its peak, Gastineau's personal life began to spiral out of control. Assault charges and involvement in a drug-supplying case shattered his image. But before we begin, make sure to hit that subscribe button. In 1984, Gastineau found himself in serious trouble when he was convicted of assaulting a patron at the famous nightclub, Studio 54. As punishment, he was sentenced to 90 hours of community service, which involved him teaching football to inmates at Rikers Island. A far cry from the NFL spotlight he was used to. Years later in 1991, Gastineau's legal troubles resurfaced when he was arrested at Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport for picking up a package containing amphetamine pills. By 1993, he was sentenced to 3 years of probation for this incident, marking another low point in his personal life. Then, in September 2000, things took an even darker turn. Gastineau was sentenced to 18 months in jail after failing to complete an anger management course. This course was a requirement after he was charged with hitting his second wife, Gastineau's journey to the NFL began in a way that no one could have predicted. He made history as East Central University's first ever draft pick when the New York Jets selected him in the second round of the 1979 NFL Draft. At the time, Gastineau wasn't expected to go that high in the draft. He was actually projected to be picked around the 8th round. However, his performance in the Senior Bowl, where he caught the Jets' attention, changed everything. Connie Carberg, the NFL's first ever female scout, played a key role in Gastineau's rise. When Gastineau quickly made a name for himself in the NFL as one of the most dominant and decorated defensive linemen of his era. He earned Pro Bowl honors for 5 straight seasons from 1981 to 1985 and finished his 10-year career with an impressive 74 official sacks. He was a first-team All-Pro 3 years in a row, from 1982 to 1984, and was consistently named to the All-AFC team during that stretch. Gastineau was a key figure in the legendary New York Sack Exchange, a nickname given to the Jets' formidable defensive line, which included Joe Klecko, Marty Lyons, and Abdul Salam. In 1981, the 4 linemen combined for 66 sacks, with Gastineau contributing 20 of those, just behind Klecko, and helped lead the Jets to their first playoff appearance since 1969. The group even earned the honor of ringing the ceremonial opening bell at the New York Stock Exchange that year, a nod to their nickname. When Klecko suffered a devastating knee injury in 1982, Gastineau stepped up as the leader of the Sack Exchange. Despite being constantly double-teamed, he finished the strike-shortened season with 6 sacks and was named the NFL Defensive Player of the Year by the NEA, winning the prestigious George Halas Trophy. Gastineau's leadership helped push the Jets to the playoffs again that year, though they fell short in the AFC Championship game against the Miami Dolphins. The 1983 season kicked off with controversy for Gastineau and the New York Jets when both he and the team's first-round pick, quarterback Ken O'Brien, were arrested and charged with assault at the iconic Studio 54. Despite this off-field trouble, Gastineau's performance on the field was nothing short of outstanding. That year, he led the NFL with 19 sacks, making him one of the most feared pass rushers in the league. Gastineau had become a household name not only for his ability to get to the quarterback, but also for his famous sack dance, a celebration he performed after each sack. However, his signature move sparked controversy when the NFL deemed it unsportsmanlike taunting in March 1984. The ban on the sack dance followed an infamous brawl that broke out during a game against the Los Angeles Rams in September 1983. After sacking quarterback Vince Ferragamo, Gastineau was shoved from behind by Rams tackle Jackie Slater, leading to a bench-clearing fight. As a result of the melee, 16 Jets and 21 Rams were fined, with Gastineau personally incurring a $1,000 penalty. Despite the new restrictions on his celebration, 1984 turned out to be Gastineau's best season yet. He racked up an incredible 22 sacks, setting a new NFL record that would stand for 17 years. Along with the sacks, he had 69 tackles and even returned a fumble for a touchdown. His dominant performance earned him the UPI AFC Defensive Player of the Year award, and he was also named the MVP of that year's Pro Bowl after recording 4 sacks and a safety during the game. Gastineau's sack record held strong until 2001, when Michael Strawn eventually broke it. In 1985, the Jets brought in new defensive coordinator Bud Carson, who implemented a 3-4 defense. This system moved Gastineau from left defensive end to right defensive end, giving him more opportunities to create mismatches. Even after breaking his hand early in the season, Gastineau still managed to record 13 1-2 sacks, finishing second in the league, and was voted All-Pro by the NEA. The Jets had a strong 11-5 finish that year, securing a wildcard spot in the playoffs, but unfortunately, they lost to the New England Patriots 26-14, with Gastineau recording a sack in the defeat. As the 1986 NFL season kicked off, Gastineau found himself in the spotlight, gracing the cover of Sports Illustrated alongside New York Giants superstar linebacker Lawrence Taylor. It was a moment that celebrated his status as one of the league's top players. However, the season quickly became challenging for Gastineau. Injuries plagued him throughout, as groin and abdominal muscle problems severely limited his performance. These issues were compounded by a left knee injury that eventually required arthroscopic surgery. Sadly, this series of setbacks kept him sidelined for the last 5 games of the regular season, leaving him with only 2 sacks in 10 games, his lowest total since his rookie year. Despite the struggles during the regular season, Gastineau showed resilience in the postseason. He made a significant impact during the Jets' wildcard round victory over the Kansas City Chiefs, recording a sack and helping the team to a solid 35-15 win. In the divisional round against the Cleveland Browns, Gastineau continued to shine, tallying another 2 1-2 sacks. However, a critical moment came late in the fourth quarter of that game, with the Jets holding a 20-10 lead. The Browns were faced with a daunting second down and 24 from their own 18-yard line. Gastineau was flagged for a roughing the passer penalty against Browns quarterback Bernie Kosar, which changed the game's momentum. What initially looked like an incomplete pass turned into a first down for the Browns after the 15-yard penalty. This costly mistake allowed Cleveland to drive down the field and score a touchdown, narrowing the Jets' lead to just 20-17. In a dramatic turn of events, the Browns tied the game with just 7 seconds left in regulation, thanks to a 22-yard field goal by Mark Mosley. They then secured the victory with a 27-yard field goal in the second overtime, leaving the Jets devastated. After the game, Gastineau defended his actions, insisting he hadn't intended to commit a penalty and was merely following through on the play. His teammate Marty Lyons also backed him up, claiming that the referee, Ben Dreith, had a reputation for being lenient on quarterbacks. Jets head coach Joe Walton, when asked about the pivotal penalty, stated simply, "It was a very key play. Mark was just trying to do the best he could do." The moment highlighted both the highs and lows of Gastineau's season, reminding everyone of the fine line between glory and heartbreak in the world of professional football. Then came his time to retire, and illnesses started stacking up on him. In 1987, Mark Gastineau made headlines for being the only regular player on the New York Jets to cross the picket line during that year's players' strike. His decision was largely driven by personal circumstances, particularly his need to pay alimony. This choice didn't sit well with many of his teammates. Dave Jennings, a fellow Jet, summed it up well when he remarked, "We expected it from Mark. He's always put himself in front of the team." This incident brought to the surface tensions that had simmered for years between Gastineau and his teammates. He was never the most popular player in the locker room, and this move only exacerbated the situation. Things came to a head when Gastineau got into a physical altercation with backup center Guy Bingham shortly after he drove into the Jets complex during the strike. Eventually, Gastineau was joined by teammates Marty Lyons and Joe Klecko in crossing the picket line, further undermining the players' efforts to stand united. Despite the controversy, Gastineau continued to showcase his talent, leading the AFC in sacks 7 weeks into the 1988 season. However, just when it seemed like he was on top of his game, he made a sudden announcement that shocked everyone. He was retiring from football. This came soon after his fiancée, actress Brigitte Nielsen, claimed she was suffering from cancer of the uterus, raising eyebrows among fans and reporters alike. Local New York newspapers began investigating her claims, reflecting a growing mistrust of Gastineau and his decisions. At the time of his retirement, he was the NFL's all-time leader in sacks, a testament to his incredible talent on the field. After stepping away from the game, Gastineau attempted a comeback with the BC Lions in the Canadian Football League in 1990. Unfortunately, he was released after just 4 games, marking a disappointing end to his aspirations of returning to professional football. In a more positive turn, Gastineau was inducted into the New York Jets Ring of Honor on October 8, 2012, celebrating his contributions to the team. Fast forward to 2022, and he was honored once again, this time by the Professional Football Researchers Association, which named him to the PFRA Hall of Very Good Class of 2022. However, Gastineau's later years have not been easy. In 2016, he was diagnosed with dementia, Parkinson's disease, and Alzheimer's disease. He believes these illnesses are linked to his time playing football and has expressed a desire to teach younger players how to play the game safely. Gastineau has pointed to poor tackling techniques as a contributing factor to his brain health issues. In March 2019, he revealed another battle. He had been diagnosed with colon cancer. Through all these challenges, Gastineau has shown resilience and continues to advocate for the well-being of future generations of football players. That is it for this one, but if you happen to like NFL legends, make sure to check out our latest videos on our channel NFL Icons. I'm sure you will love it.